Okay, so first of all we will discuss the question and answers. Question and answer I have given, we will discuss. Okay, so let me show my screen to you all. So these we have discussed. Now we have to discuss from here. Okay, so these two questions we have discussed. We are going for this question. Okay, now the question is, write an algorithm to find whether a given number is odd or even. Okay, we have to check if the given number is odd or even. So what is the criteria for checking if the number is odd or even? Okay, what is the process of checking?
Sir,
Divide
if
the
the
number.
number is divisible by 2, then it will be even. If it is not, then it will be odd.
Yes, so if the number is divisible by 2, it is even, and if it is not totally divisible, exactly divisible by 2, it will become odd number. So our process will start here. Step number 1, start. Okay, then step number 2. Step number 2, take input, means get the number. Okay, read the number, whatever number we want, 15, 16, 18, 20, 55, whatever number. So step number 2 is take input, means read the number. Okay, you can write read number also, no problem, it is also correct. If you want to write only read number, it is also correct. Now step number 3, the most important step, check if the number, we have to check if number divided by 2. Okay, this is the sign for remainder, this is modulus, this is the percentage sign, this is called modulus. So if number divided by 2, instead of divide we have used modulus, it means that it will give us a remainder. Okay, so if number divided by 2 gives remainder equal to 0, double equal to means equal to, in computer double equal to means equal to only means giving a value. So if number divided by 2 gives remainder 0, I have written in using operator. You can write in English also, you can write like this if you want, you can write like this also. Instead of writing if number divided by 2 like this, you can write like this also, if number divided by 2 gives remainder 0. You can write like this also, if number divided by 2 gives remainder 0. Instead of this one, using operator, you can write like this also, if number divided by 2 gives remainder 0.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Some of you are late, why? And let me close it, waiting room also. Okay, so now number divided by 0, if the number gives remainder 0, if it gives 0 as remainder, then print n is even number, then we have to print that n is an even number because it is divisible by 2 and gives remainder 0. Else otherwise print n is an odd number if the remainder is not 0, if the remainder is 1. Okay, it means that the number is not totally divisible by 2, so it is an odd number. So else print n is an odd number. Now process is complete, no more process needed. So we have to go for step number 4, exit or stop. Okay, exit or stop. Okay, so for this only question, it is asking us to draw a flow chart to check if a number, oh no, it is a different question. Draw a flow chart to check if a number is positive or negative. Okay, so we have to check if the number is positive or negative. So for this, you know very well, if you want to check if a number is positive or negative, we will go for the process. The process is number greater than 0 or not? If the number is greater than 0, it is positive. Less than 0, negative. And if it is neither greater than 0 nor less than 0, then it is 0. Means it is 0. So we have to create a flow chart to check if a number is positive or negative. Positive greater than 0, negative less than 0. Okay, so this is one made by me. This is one flow chart made by me, but the space was not proper. That is why I opted for. That is why I have opted for connector. This is connector. Here you can see this one is connector. Here also this is connector. Sometimes the flow chart is so large, so long that we are not able to place it in a page. So I will go for the next page. So what we will do, we will use connector. Connector is given in the book also. So this one is called connector. So now we can see, draw a flow chart to check if a number is positive or negative. So first one, oval start. Number is our variable, NUM. NUM is our variable. So we are making NUM 0. It is not compulsory. If you want to skip this process, you can skip this process, no problem. This is process. If you want, you can skip this process. Num equal to 0. Now for input and for output, we use parallelogram. So we are using here parallelogram. Read num, or you can write here input num. Both are correct. So read num or input num, we are getting the value of num, means the number. Now this one is decision box. Okay, decision box, is num greater than 0? Is the number greater than 0? If yes, then print positive. If no, then next one here, is num less than 0? If yes, then print negative. If no, then print 0 and then stop. So this is the whole process. Start, number, make the number 0, otherwise the number can be any other variable. Okay, any other number can be there also. So start num 0, read the number. Is number greater than 0? Yes, print positive. Is num less than 0? Print negative. If it is neither greater than 0 nor less than 0, it means it is 0. Then stop. So like this we can also write, and one more I have made in the last also on a big paper. Yes, you can see this one. Same process, start, number equals to 0. Okay, we have made num equals to 0. You can avoid this process also, it is not compulsory. Then parallelogram to read the number. Parallelogram to read the number. Now is num greater than 0? Is number greater than 0? So yes, yes will print positive. Okay, if no, then it will again check, is number less than 0? Yes, print negative. Otherwise if no, then you are obvious that it is not greater than 0, not less than 0. So it is obvious that it is 0. So print 0. And all of these will link together like this. After printing negative, it will not go here. After printing positive, it will not go here. If yes, then process will be like this, number greater than 0, yes, print positive, and then it will follow these, and then it will stop. Okay, now if number is not greater than 0, means if the number is -3, so first one will not happen. Number is not greater than, so it will know. Is number less than 0? Yes, it will print negative, and then it will go like this and then stop. Okay, so like this we can write
Yes.
also and then stop. Okay, now next question was there. Yes, the same question in algorithm. It was asked to write the same question in algorithm also. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, now the same flow chart we are using, and we are writing the algorithm for that flow chart. So you can see, start, take the number as 0, then read the number. The same process we are following. Step number 1, start. Step number 2, take the number as 0. You know very well this is not compulsory, you can drop this process also. Step number 3, read the number or input number. Instead of read number, you can also write here input number. Step number 4, check. You can write here check also. Is number greater than 0? Then print positive. Else if number less than 0, then print negative. Else means if the number is neither greater than 0 nor less than 0, then print 0. Okay, step number 5 is you can write either end, you can write stop also, you can write exit also. Basically we write stop, but both all of these end and exit are also correct. So the same flowchart we have used to write the algorithm. Same process is checking the number if it is greater than 0 or not. Okay, these we have discussed, and now some other questions. Yes, question number 4 we have discussed. Yes, question number 7. Yes. Now 7. The question given on question number 7, the question is taken from page number 87. Page number 87. Page number 87 is having this. Okay, so the question, someone can read the question. Anyone read the question? Okay, who will read the question?
Which question?
Yes, Kushagar, read this question. Page number 87, question number 7.
Yes, sir. Input marks in 3 subjects. Calculate average marks and then give division and then give divisions for following condition. Average marks above 50 division 1. Average marks above 50 to 60 second division. Then 35 to 50, third division. Below 35, 0.
Yes.
And then A, write an algorithm for above problem. B, draw a flowchart for the same.
Okay, so we have to write an algorithm and we have to draw a flowchart. Okay, the question is asking we have to input marks in 3 subjects. Okay, then we have to calculate the average, and then we have to give division as per the condition of the average. Okay, so first of all we will start writing the algorithm. So step number 1, as usual, start. Okay, step number 2, it is asking 3 subjects, so we will write input marks of 3 subjects, and if every subject I am taking as one as S1, one as S2 and one as S3. Okay, so the marks of the 3 subjects will be saved in S1, S2, S3. Now it is asking to calculate average. For calculating the average, the process is sum of the number divided by numbers. So the average is total sum of all the values and number of values. So we have 3 values, S1, S2 and S3. That is why first we are going to get the total. So step number 3, total equals to S1 plus S2 plus S3. So we got the total. Now step number 4, AVG means average. We are taking AVG as a variable for average. So AVG equals to total by 3. Total divided by 3. So now we have calculated the average. Now step number 5, the final step. Now the question is, if average marks greater than or equal to 60, give division 1. So we are writing if average greater than or equal to 60, then print division 1. Okay, now if the number is not greater than or equal to 60, for example if the number is 53, then this will not work. Average is greater than 60, no. Average is equal to 60, no. Then else if average greater than 50, average is greater than 50. Okay, so 53 is greater than 50, so it will work, but there is one problem. Okay, there is one problem. If average greater than 60 means suppose 63, 65, then it will work. But if we will go for average greater than 50, then it is a condition 34, 35. So we will use AND also. So it is greater than 50 and less than 60 also. So in this way it will be between 50 and 60. If number or average is greater than 50 and less than 60, AVG is less than 60, means it is between 50 and 60, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55 till 59, not 60. So if AVG is greater than or equal to 50 and it is also less than 60, then print division 2. Else if AVG is greater than or equal to 35 and AVG is less than 50, then print division 3. Okay, so these are.
So for writing and we will write we will do double signs.
This is a shortcut. Double ampersand is used for writing AND in Java. So you can write this also, or you can write directly AND, AND, AND. Okay, you can directly write AND, no problem. This sign I have just given for as sample, because in some answers of algorithms you will see this one only. In suppose in graduation you are writing flowchart or algorithm, so you can see this symbol also. That is why I have written, no problem. AND is also correct, no problem. You can write AND. Okay, now what does it means AND? AND means both the condition should be true. The number should be greater than 50 also and less than 60 also. Okay, then only it will print division 2. But if the number is only greater than 50, suppose it is 79, but it is not less than 60, so it will not get printed. Both conditions should follow. Okay. Now else, if these three are not fulfilled, division 1, division 2, division 3, suppose the number is 20, so it is greater than 60 or equal to 60, no. Greater than 50 or less than 60, no. Greater than 35 and less than 50, no. Then else it is actually less than 35, it means. So else print division 0. The division will be 0 and then stop. Okay, so this is the algorithm, and the same we will follow for the flow chart. Okay, now see answer 7, flow chart, same process, only we are using these closed shapes. Oval for start or stop, you can see we have used oval here, start, then read S1, S2, S3, these are three subjects we are reading right now. We are reading these three subjects. Okay, now you can see one thing, this one we are writing like this, suppose. Okay, so suppose you want to show something to the audience, to the people who are watching, so this one you can use, this one is for annotation, means for comment. This is also a part of the flow chart. This one you can use for annotation or comment. So I can write annotation. What is read S1, S2 and S3? So I will write here S1, S2, S3 are variables for the three subjects. For making the people understand it better, we usually go for comment. So this one is for comment or annotation. It is also given in the book for comment or annotation. Now you can see a rectangle is for calculation, total equals to S1 plus S2 plus S3. Now AVG for average equals to total by 3. You can see for input we have used a parallelogram, and for calculation we are using rectangle. So we basically use rectangle for calculation. Okay, so AVG equals to total by 3, calculation done. Now we are going for the decision box. This is the decision box. AVG greater than or equal to 60. If the number is greater than or equal to 60, then print 1. Print division first. Okay. No, it is not greater than or equal to 60. So we will check if it is AVG is greater than or equal to 50 and AVG is less than 60. Okay. Yes, print division second. If no, then again AVG greater than or equal to 35 and AVG less than 50. Yes, then print 3, division third. Otherwise print 0. Means if it is neither division 3 nor division 2 nor division 1, then the last option is division 0. No need to check it, because we know it is neither 1 nor 2 nor 3, so it is 0. Then stop. Okay. Now can anyone use this flow chart to check any one number and to give the division? Anyone who can use this flow chart to check for a number? Anyone? Means I am asking, I have one number 52. Now use this flow chart and tell me what will happen. What is the result I am going to get? Okay.
Sir, only 52.
52 is the average. The numbers which I am having, the number which I am having can be any three numbers. Suppose the numbers are okay.
Then division 0.
Yes. Suppose just 1 minute.
Sir, print division 2.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay.
Division 2 will be the answer.
Yes. So history. Okay. Now suppose the three numbers that I am having are, one is 10, one is 30, and one number is 20. Okay, the three numbers which I am going for is 10, one number is 10, one number is 30, and one number is 20. Okay, now what will happen? See, it will start, the process is going on. Start, then read the number S1 is 10, S2 is 30, S3 is 20. Now total S1 plus S2 plus S3, the total will become 60, right? Now 10 plus 30 plus 20, so it will become 60. Now in this process, ABG equals to total by 3, so total is 60, so 60 by 3, it will become 20 na? 20. Now what will happen? Now the computer will check. The number right now we are having is 20. Okay. AVG greater than 60 or equal to 60, yes or no?
No, sir.
No. So instead of going here, we are going here. So no, this will not work. Okay, no. Is AVG greater than or equal to 50 and less than 60?
No.
No.
Yes.
Again we are going down. AVG greater than or equal to 35 and AVG less than 50, yes or no? No.
No, sir.
We are going down. So for going down, the last thing which we got is print division 0. So it will print 0,
Yes.
and then the flowchart will stop. Okay. But if ABG is 53, then what will happen? Check and tell me how the process will go. What is the path that we are going to follow? Tell me, anyone? The number is 53.
First, it will check that is 53 greater or is equal to than 60. So it is not greater than 60.
Yes.
So
So
it is no, and it will go
so
down.
no, go down. Yes. Very good.
And then 53 is greater than 50, and 53 is smaller than 60. Then it will print division 2,
Yes.
and then it will stop.
So process will be like this. First it will start from here, then go down, then go right. Right now, because yes, we got yes. Then go right, print division 2, and then go from here like this, and then go down, and then go down, and then stop. Okay. So this way our flow chart will work. Now question number 8. Question number 8 was obtain sales amount. If sales amount is greater than 5,000, then give a discount of 10%. Otherwise give discount as 0%. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Sir, I am saying I was having a network problem in my area, so now I was not able to join the class.
Okay, now you have joined. I have used recording option. The whole class is in recording mode. I will send a link of YouTube today. Okay,
Oh, thank
I will upload the video and give you the link. Okay, in the group.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Okay. Now one more. Okay, so we have one more question. The question is, someone is selling something. The shop owner is selling something, and we have to obtain the sales amount, means the price of the item and the whole amount that he has to pay. Okay. Now he will be getting discount. If sales amount means the purchasing is greater than 5000, then he will get a discount of 10%. Otherwise, if the purchasing is not greater than 5000, he will not get a discount. Discount will be 0%. Okay. Now we have to calculate amount payable also, means the amount that he has to pay, that he is going to pay. So step number 1 is start. As usual in algorithms, we start with start. Then take quantity of items, number of items purchased by him. Suppose he is buying 3 pencil. Okay. So input quantity of item as Q. So Q is number is 3. And sell price of item as P. So the pencil is of suppose 5 rupees. Okay. So 3 pencils bought by him and price of each pencil is 5 rupees. Now sales amount. Okay. SA. In short, I can write SA equals to Q into P. Number of items multiplied by price of each item. So the price will become 15 rupees.
So the star is multiplication sign.
Yes, star is multiplication. In computer, star is used for multiplication, slash is used for division. Okay. And modulus is for getting the remainder. Okay. Now we have to check, because there is only 2 conditions, either greater than 5000 or less than 5000. So we will be going for if else. If it is greater than that, then we will be going for if else ladder. Okay. But there is only 2 conditions here. So we will check if sales amount means SA greater than 5000. If it is greater than 5000, then amount payable, the amount he needs to pay, is means AP equals to sales amount minus 10% of sales amount. Here I am going to use a mathematical system. Suppose sales amount is this one, so the discount will get subtracted from the percentage. So it is actually 10% of SA. We are actually writing here 10, then percentage symbol of SA, 10% of SA. Now instead of 10%, you can write now 10 by 100, percentage 10 by 100. Okay. If 100 will divide 10, then it will become 0.1. So instead of writing a long thing, I am just writing 0.1. 0.1 is actually 10%. If you will calculate 10%, it will become 0.1. Okay. So it is 0.1 of SA. Else, if it is not greater than 5000, then what we have to do? Then it is telling the else AP equals to amount payable equals to SA minus 0% of SA, means 0 discount. So it will come only SA, because this will become 0. So we are giving 0% discount if it is not greater than 5000, means less than 5000. And if it is greater than 5000, then we are giving a discount of 10%. Then print amount payable. Okay. Then you have to print amount payable means AP. So if greater than 5000, then AP will be SA minus 0.1 into SA. Otherwise it will be SA minus 0 into SA. Then we have to print the amount payable.
We have not directly written AP is equal to SA.
Yes.
Sir, we can write AP is equal to SA also.
Yes, you can write AP. I have written in the first one. Now, just to tell you what is AP. AP is amount payable. You can write AP only, no problem.
No, sir. In else statement, you have written AP is equal to SA minus 0 into SA.
We can write only SA also.
Write AP is equal to SA.
You can write, no problem. But just we are showing that it was telling na give discount 0%. That is why we are writing like this. Otherwise, it is of no use. If you will write AP equals to SA, also you will get the same value. So it is not wrong. Just we are going with the question. It was telling 0%. That is why we are writing 0%. Otherwise, AP will be equal to SA because no discount. Okay. So print amount payable and then stop. The same thing we are using here to write the flowchart also. Just we are using the symbols, the closed shapes also. Now start. using oval. Then input Q and P. So Q is here quantity and P is the price of each item or each commodity that we are buying. Here you can use annotation or comment for the user to understand. Otherwise you can leave it also. Now SA equals to Q into P. Okay, sales amount equals to Q into P. If sales amount greater than 5,000, yes, then do the calculation. Because we are doing calculation, we are going for rectangle. AP equals to SA minus 0.1 into SA. Then print AP. Otherwise, if it is less than 5,000, then no. No means here AP equals SA minus 0 into SA. Then print AP. In both the conditions, it will go down and then stop. So this way we can write the flow chart also. Okay. Now if someone can tell me what will be the amount payable, what will the process that will be followed if the amount of each of the, all of the commodities are of 2,000 rupees. Okay. The condition is the quantity is 3 items they have bought and the price of each item P equals to 2,000. Okay, tell me what will be the process now.
Sir, first it will check that if the sum, the SA that is Q into P is greater than 5,000 or not. If SA is greater than 5,000, then it will come down.
Yes.
And in yes, and then the AP will be equal to SA minus 0.1 into SA.
Yes.
And that is 200, and then we have to pay 5,800 to print.
Yes. So it will be SA equals to 2,000 into 3. 3 into 2,000. Okay. It will become 6,000. So 6,000 is greater than 5,000. If SA greater than 5,000, yes, then AP equals to SA minus and then print